Thank you. So welcome to this AI session. So the presentation is named AI Beyond the Hype. And I want to share some insights we gained at Deutsche Telekom that you should know beyond the buzzwords to really drive value from AI. And to make this more tangible to you, for sure, I also have brought some use cases, because in the use cases, there is the value, and I think it makes things more tangible. And I would like to start with a quote from my well-esteemed colleague, Claudia Nehmert. She is our Chief Technology and Innovation Officer and board member of Deutsche Telekom. And she said, it's a real opportunity that we are after the peak in the Gartner hype cycle now with Gen AI, because now we can stop to push and run for POCs and showcases which promise a lot of value potential and concentrate on the basic that we need to do to really drive value from AI. And so I want to invite you on a journey. I would like to take your view from the tip of the iceberg of AI beyond the surface. There are a lot of things that you need to know to unlock the value. And the first one is that AI is not a new invention. So actually, AI, the concept, the basic models are there since the 50s. To give you some examples, so 1948, the Ingram model was invented by Claude Shannon. So it's a statistical method for next word prediction after you have given a sentence. The term artificial intelligence was invented in 1956. In 1958, Frank Rosenblatt, he introduced the first artificial neural network, which is more or less the basis for the AI models today. What changes and what is new is the amazing use cases we can realize. And with the launch of Gen AI, of ChatGPT, end of 2022, there was a big hype beginning in 2023 with 100 million users already in January 2023. And also the recent days where we really kind of engaged discussions about the new I/O preview model, and that it has a factor 6 to 8 better performance for mathematical issues and also for programming issues than ChatGPT 4. So really impressive. But the driver behind this is the dramatical increase in computational power. This is the real engine which gives this or unlocks this new value potential. So in the 50s, we had 10 flops, and now we have 10 billion petaflops. So this is a one with 25 zeros. It's really huge, yeah? And I think also quantum computing is an interesting driver because quantum computing also does something with computational power and computation as such. The next thing is, and thank you, you already said it, Gen AI is a really good value driver. But if you read the press, you would believe it's the only one, and that's not true. So if you want to unlock the value from AI in businesses, you also have to look at the other ones. So to give you an example for Gen AI, we built an AI assistant for governmental institutions where security was a very important piece. It helps with documentation, and we use it for the police, and we use it also for regional parliaments. And we achieved a time reduction of 20 to 30%. If I go to computer vision, which is also maybe not that sexy, but also a huge value driver, especially in manufacturing, here we use computer vision for quality control, for example, for automotive manufacturers. So you can use the technology to screen Schweißnähte. So it's Schweißnähte is weld joints on electrical vehicle batteries. And with this AI, we achieve a 100% quality control. Before, you could only do it by experts and taking samples. And the defects are reduced by 20%. Prediction, also very good. I like it very much. We used it for Deutsche Bahn. So we do the predictions of the delays. So it's a hot topic. And we do 90 million predictions for more than 20,000 trains per day. And the accuracy increased by 50 to 20% using this machine learning prediction models. And if you think you're waiting at the platform and you see the signs, I'm really proud as I heard that this is from us, because it's really accurate in terms of predicting the delay. And the last hot thing, and I think this will come up now, is the robotics topic. It's especially the humanoid robotics. And for example, there is a company called Neura, and they have a butler robot who can do ironing and helping with lifting heavy weights. And BMW, for example, is using Figure robotic technology for sheet metal insertion in the automotive production. So also really interesting applications which definitely have a significant value potential. Then, and this is also something that the colleague from the Stadtwerke told us, is if you want to scale AI use cases, only 10% is about AI and large language models. The rest is getting your data right, the infrastructure, and the connectivity. And to give you an example here, and I will explain the use case in more detail later, we have made an app, it's called IMED1 for hospitals. It's a large language model helping with documentation activities. And this is a use case that it's already scaling across 300 to 400 hospitals in Germany and in the DACH region. And why have we been able to scale this very fast? Because we also built an information management system for hospitals. And we work with the hospitals on that for several years already. So we made the homework of data integration, of data quality assurance, of data cleansing, and we also already had a secure and sovereign infrastructure environment for the data. And so we just could put the AI piece on it. But if you have greenfield AI use cases, sometimes you're struggling to scale them because you didn't take care of this basic things that needs to be done, unfortunately. Another piece is that everybody is talking about the value and the significant value you can achieve, but you also have to take care a lot of the challenges which come along with to exploring this new technology. And last week I had a very interesting panel discussion. I was honored to be the moderator of AI panel at the Digital X, and I want to share some insights that I gained in this discussion. So the first thing was, okay, it's a challenge to really find use cases with significant value potential. And the essence of our discussion was that companies have to ask two questions. The first question is, what problems does my company solve for customers, and how can AI help to solve them better? Second question you have to ask is, in which processes do I put most of the effort, and how can AI help to reduce those efforts? Second thing is, we talked about expertise and skills and how to build them up. And I really liked what Agnes Hefberger, the CEO in Germany of Microsoft, said. She said, we really need to expose our employees with the new technology, help them with the obstacles, and on the other hand, they can really experience the benefits. Because imagine we discussed trust and AI and how it feels and so on. So WhatsApp is also reading with us what we do, but it's so common, it's so useful that you don't think about this. So this is the second topic. Then I talked a lot about technology maturity already, but it's also important to look at the data because unfortunately, and I hope I can say this here, shit in, shit out is also valid for, for AI. So, and to give you an example here, I introduce it later. We have built a tool, AI Engineer, which helps us with coding and our IT development. And here we had the challenge that we want to migrate a very old mainframe system, which is working with a very old code, which is called FAME. And we had a challenge that we want to translate this code in Python and Java code. And so the problem was that we had not enough documentation, code documentation, so nobody understood the code, the language. So what we did is we used very smart programmers who figured out what the code does, and we also approached clients, not clients, sorry, employees who were already retired to help us to really understand what's written there. And this took us 50% of the project time. But then the rest was an automated process. And originally, when we started the project, it was for a finance institute. Gen AI wasn't there, so we had to do it manually. And we really went through the code and understood it line by line and translated it line by line with a lot of people. And then with Gen AI, we had still, because we had to train the model once, 50% of the work to really generate this documentation, but then it was really, really fast. But unfortunately, this is always the work you have to do. Yeah, and it's always time consuming. I think it doesn't change. So when I started with Accenture 15 years ago, I also did analytical projects, and 70% of the time was the data preparation. If it comes to sovereignty and IP protection, I had a very interesting chat with the SVP Digital Business from Siemens. And he said, if we have all our machine engineering know-how in the data and in the large language models, and these large language models are provided by US companies, and the data is stored in public clouds of US hyperscalers. Are we really able to protect our IP and our competitive advantage in Germany and Europe? And last but not least, coming to regulation. So everybody who was sitting in this panel, and I think in the audience, agreed that we need a more pragmatic regulation. And an example which really stuck to me was mentioned by the CTO of Commerzbank. He said, to be compliant with the EU Data and AI Act, they had to fill more than 3,000 sheets of paper. That's not pragmatic. That's overwhelming, and that's really holding us back to really unlock the value. How do we deal at Deutsche Telekom with AI? So we try not to reinvent the wheel. So we always try to use what is already there, and only if something is missing, we do it. And you can see from the bottom to the top, we climb up the value chain. And due to time, I will lead you immediately through. I brought an example for each of the steps. So the first thing is that we use from-the-shelf solutions to improve our business. So, for example, we're using the GitHub Copilot to accelerate our programming work and to secure the quality. And by doing this, our engineering team became 30% more efficient. Then for knowledge management, we use RST. This is just a white label platform we use from glean.com. And you can ask questions regarding HR, regarding IT support, and the tool is answering based on the information we feed it into this tool, and it reduces time by 30 to 40% for the search of the employees. The next step is that we take existing models and customize them according to our needs. And one big topic in Deutsche Telekom is the fiber rollout. And we have the so-called T-cars, and they have a lot of sensors in this car, so also computer vision capabilities, and they drive around the cities, screening the environment, and we take all this input and put it into a machine learning model that we have trained by ourselves. So we have taken a base and then we trained it and improved it, that it can tell us where we need to choose or where we want to put our cable for the fiber rollout to make it less effort, to make it really efficient, use as less cable as possible, and so on. On the other hand, we have built a joint venture together with other global telcos to develop, based on existing large language models, a specialized model for telco, helping us in this customer service operations and back office processes. And then we also take tools as an input and build our own products and service for our customers or our internal needs. And one really important is the Frag Magenta avatar and chatbot. We started with a chatbot and then we put an avatar on top. So this is a tool which substitutes customer service. And we had amazing results. So complaints were reduced by 80% and the troubleshooting cost reduced by 60%. And then the mentioned AI engineer. So we do a lot of programming and we faced, okay, GitHub Copilot is not enough for us because we want to have an automated process. This is something that GitHub Copilot could not do. Then the second thing is that we want to do, let me quickly check, sorry, I need to look it up, sorry. We want to understand context. So that's very important. If you want to do automation, it really needs to understand the context. And very important for us, we wanted to have data privacy because we don't want to somebody else be able to read our product information or to read our user stories or to read the code that we have already produced. So I'm running out of time. And also here, significant improvements by 30 to 40%. And then we also use AI to really build customer solutions. I already mentioned the iMate one. We use it for wound scanning, and we use it for medical plans. And here, such a process is reduced from 10 to 15 minutes to 1 to 2 minutes. So really significant improvement. So law monitor. Also scrolling the internet and libraries for law changes, reducing manual effort by 50%, and you get it early enough, the changes. Let me have the last words. So our conclusion is the following. Although we are beyond the hype, AI is important, AI is a game changer. Second thing is, AI is more than a technology. It really changes the work, how business model, or it really changes how business models work, how our culture is, and how we collaborate. We need to do our homework to really unlock the value. We need to expose our people to AI as good as we can and help them to overcome the obstacles. And last but not least, I think the quality label made in Germany can really be improved and reloaded with trusted AI, because this is something that we have in Germany and Europe, which we don't see that much in US and in Asia. And with this, I close it and think AI is here to stay.